What a lunch. You were wise to stay here and work. The restaurants in Paris these days, the odds on a good one are worse than in the National Lottery. You still have those law books?
Yeah, it's my first case. A murder.
Murder? What difference does that make? A case is a case. Police have handed you a suspect, haven't they?
Yes, the maid.
Well, fire a few questions at it, get it a signed statement, and throw her in jail and get on to something else.
Is that how it's done?
Sure. Worked on dozens of these.
What about this? An accused person must be protected from any infringement of his or her rights under the law, from the police, or from the law itself. This is the first and most sacred obligation of an examining magistrate.
Well, you're going to believe everything you read. Let's have a look at the evidence on the police.
Oh, sure. Right here.
In an interrogation, don't fumble with papers like that. The witness will get the idea you don't know what you're doing. May I?
Certainly.
Get your document. Locate the paper you want. Keep your finger on it. And then you whip it out.
Hey, that's not bad. May I try that?
Sure. Let me be the witness. Don't spare me. Very good.
Do you know that a loaded revolver was kept in the glove compartment of the Rolls Royce?
No, I didn't.
Then, well, let me refresh your memory.
Don't worry. It just takes a little practice.
Well, perhaps I'd better stick to my books and what I know.
Oh, you'll be okay. Say, that girl was found naked, too, wasn't she?
Yes, she fainted right after the shooting with the gun still in her hand. She and the chauffeur had been lovers. They quarreled bitterly, and she shot him. There seems to be quite a bit of that in Paris.
Only in the wintertime. People are cooped up. Say, he beat her up now and then, too, didn't he?
Apparently once too often.
Well, there you have it. It's a snap. It's practically tied up in blue ribbons for you.
Good afternoon, Morristown.
Good afternoon, Monsieur
Yeah,
LeBus.
I thought I'd stop by to see how you were getting on. Your first interrogation today, isn't it?
Yes,
It's that shooting in the Rue de la Faisanderie, isn't it? Paul the maid, the chauffeur, making love in her room, some outbursts of jealousy, and bang! Well, can't expect them to watch television forever. Is this it? May I?
Yes, go right ahead.
Splendid, splendid. The girl was found on the scene of the crime. The murder weapon in her hand. Very good. Congratulations, Savigny. An open and shut case.
Well, her story is that the door opened behind them. A shot was fired in the dark, and she promptly fainted.
That's her story? Well, warn her that if she sticks to that, she'll be guilty of murder and contempt of court. Really? By the way, that's not just my opinion. That's the way the chief prosecutor sees it, too.
The chief prosecutor has he been following the case?
Are you mad? Certainly not. Do you honestly expect the chief prosecutor to concern himself with the case of a parlourmaid and a chauffeur bouncing around from bed to bed until one of them dies from it?
Well, I just don't see how we can form an opinion.
The girl and her victim both worked in the household of Benjamin Beaurevert.
That's a bank.
Yes, a bank. Tell him, Morristown.
And it's in Paris. It's the bank. Beaurevert Frere. Billions.
And a fine old family. Before her marriage, she was a Saint-Maur de Pignerol.
And a member of the Beaurevert family rode in the First Crusade, right beside the king.
Just so, in fact, he was the treasurer.
I see what you mean.
Of course you do. Get a confession from the girl. A short one if possible, and you'll be home for an early dinner. Good luck, Savigny. Call me the moment you dispose of the case, and I'll pass the good news along to the top.
You know, Morristown, the Beaurevert family is a very nice, very kind family. I mean, after all, they could have tried the girl themselves, found her guilty, and guillotined her in the kitchen without consulting anybody.
Well, the rich like things done their own way. Otherwise, what's the sense of having all that money? I know how you feel, but what's the harm? The girl is guilty, isn't she?
I suppose she is. She should be tried by a judge and a jury, not by a social register in a bank.
You're taking this too seriously. This is a business, and it's run by the chief prosecutor. Now, if you... Oh, afternoon, Madame Savigny.
Antoinette, darling, come in.
Hello, Mr. Morristan. You don't mind? I'm not interrupting something important.
Oh, no, of course not. I was just getting a law lesson from the chief prosecutor.
Perhaps I better stay out. I have to get a notebook.
Darling, what's wrong?
Nothing. Now,
You're not angry with me for coming here.
you arrived just in the nick of time.
Your first case. I wanted to wish you good luck.
Excellent.
Well, I need something to take my mind off apartment hunting.
Read a good book. Take a cold shower.
If you knew the kind of places I've seen. Dark, dirty halls, dingy little rooms, and we can't even afford both.
Darling, Paris is for tourists. Now, I told you that in Lyon we had a beautiful flat. Modern, convenient, a modern study, all the conveniences.
All the conveniences. It was 300 miles from Christian Dior.
Now there was a drawback.
Darling, the best possible incentive for any young magistrate is an extravagant young wife.
That's not a fact, only a rumor.
Well, I've been right so far, haven't I? Didn't I tell you that within a year we would be out of Lyon and in Paris?
Homeless, but closer to Christian Dior. After that, darling, what if things didn't work out for me here? I mean, what if I were to be shipped back to the law library in my old job?
Oh, Paul, no.
They might.
Paul, what's wrong? What's worrying you?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't seem to quite fit in here. They do things differently in Paris.
Oh, Paul.
Not those things.
It's just that you're new here. But you won't be for long. And you're a brilliant lawyer.
I'm not sure that's enough.
It is for me.
Thank you for coming. I needed you.
Come in.
Morristan, this office is as much yours as it is mine. There's no necessity for you to knock before entering.
Thank you. Cut yourself.
Lipstick.
Oh.
It's about time for our first witness.
Well, yes, now, darling, run along. Now, I want you to find us a beautiful flat, 10 rooms, 4 baths, and a terrace. And for very little money. That's an order.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, Mr. Morristan.
Goodbye, Mrs. Lee.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, darling.
Feeling better?
Yes, quite a bit.
My wife just presses me. Girl's waiting, you know?
Yes, bring her in. Morristan, what do you think? The friendly, fatherly approach to this one?
Silent treatment. But let her sweat it out a bit. Chances are she'll sign a confession before you ask her the first question.
By all means, let the silent treatment.
No smoking.
Was it for today? I can always come back tomorrow. The guard told me a funny joke out there. These 2 old maids on the drugstore, and they were... I know, we're waiting for the magistrate. Is that it?
The magistrate.
You? All right. You don't look it. He's more the type.
You'll have to take my word for it.
Well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I only thought that he was more the type.
Your name?
Josepha Latine.
Where were you born?
In Spoleto, in the province of Drôme.
Your age?
24. As a rule, I don't look it, but in these past few days, I've been so
Your
tired.
occupation.
Parlor maid. By the way, your office is filthy. I happen to be a parlor maid myself, and I know how easy it is to sweep the dirt under the rug.
Don't wander from the question.
All right. But you know, it isn't very safe to work with all the dust flying around.
Monsieur Matinee, I am charged under law as examining magistrate of the higher court to conduct an inquiry into the death by shooting of one Miguel Rosas.
Oh, Miguel, I can hardly believe it. He was so alive, and now...
Furthermore, I'm empowered to examine witnesses in this affair, and accused persons in this affair, to interrogate them, and, if necessary, to confront them with each other. My findings may be the basis for the arrest and imprisonment of any person sufficiently implicated, and my recommendations will guide the presiding judge in any subsequent trial. Do you understand that?
I'm innocent.
I didn't ask you that.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you to save you the trouble of questioning me.
It's no trouble, I assure you.
All right. Shall I tell you what happened in my own words?
Certainly not. Above all, Giuseppe Latine, you must be absolutely honest in all of your responses. If you tell even the slightest lie...
Why would I lie? I've got nothing to fear. As my father used to say, when you're poor, there are two worries you don't have. Pickpockets and lawyers. Oh, I'm sorry. You're a lawyer, aren't you?
Perhaps you'd also like to know if I'm a pickpocket.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
all right.
I didn't mean to be fresh or anything.
That's all right. Both of your parents are living, are they not?
My father, yes. My mother, I don't know. I never knew her or anything about her. Strange, isn't it? Generally speaking, it's the father one can't identify. 4 days after I was born, my mother ran off with a railroad conductor. I guess he didn't make a very good impression.
Your father is a farmer, correct?
And a wine grower. I worked for him until Madame Beaurevert hired me. Our vineyard was only 2 kilometers away from their chateau, and I worked for them until we went to Paris.
Now then, the deceased Ostos was already in their employ?
Yes, chauffeur. Boy, in his uniform, he was really something. It's funny, when I met him, he didn't appeal to me at all.
Judging from what you were wearing the evening of the shooting, I'd say that feeling wore off.
Well, you don't think I like being found that way?
How long before you changed your mind about Ostos?
Not very long. I didn't even know what was happening, and suddenly I was in love.
In love? With a man who raped you?
What?
A testimony of one Emile Bermontier, janitor, referring to Ostos, you said, and, here I quote, oh, you mean that crazy Spaniard who raped me in my father's field?
Actually, he was on the way home from there. What have you got in that book?
On the way home from there? You mean he did rape you?
Well, rape. I wouldn't want to get Miguel in trouble now.
Is the witness lying? Did you say that, or did you not say it?
I might have been mad at Miguel that day.
Would you please answer the question?
Is it important?
Surely you're the best judge of that. But since it does seem to confuse you, we'll drop the matter. Let's see, this should be simpler. When you first met Ostos, were you a virgin?
Hey, what's being investigated here? I mean, justice is one thing.
Answer the question.
My father never even asked me that question.
Well, perhaps a couple of days in jail will make you more cooperative. Morristan, get the guard, please.
No, don't. Some questions. Are you sure you're a judge? Is he really a judge?
And Morristan, the guard, quickly.
No. I'll answer the question. All right now. This is all confidential, isn't it? All right now. What was the question again? Did he rape me or something like that?
Morristan, would you kindly read the question again?
When you first met Ostos, were you a virgin?
Oh, yes, of course.
You mean you were?
I mean, I remember the question.
Well, for once and for all, would you kindly answer it?
You're in such a hurry, you'd think we were engaged. All right. Well, you know how it is in the provinces. Boys and girls working together side by side in the fields and vineyards, cooling off for a swim now and then, getting warm from the work. Nobody wears very much. You'd like us, Spoleto.
I don't doubt it.
Don't go in July. It rains quite a lot.
Now then, you and the deceased, Ostos.
Oh, you make him sound so very dead.
Oh, pardon me, correction. You and Miguel Ostos. When, how, why?
When, how, why? Lucky you don't want pictures. All right. It was in August. The 2nd or 3rd Wednesday. I'm sure it was on Wednesday because we both had our day off that day. And the heat was awful that day, but it was better at sundown. We went for a walk to see my father at the vineyard and then back along the river. The animals were being driven in from the field, and there was sort of a haze over the riverside.
Please, I see the scene very clearly.
Well, I want you to understand exactly what happened.
Well, then tell me, please, exactly what did happen.
I tripped over a root, and I grabbed Monsieur Miguel to keep from falling, and somehow we both fell.
As simple as that?
Well, it was our day off. And the heat, you know, it was awful. And, well, I wasn't wearing very much. I mean underneath. So, there we were. Doesn't that give you the general idea?
Didn't you fight him off? Did you put up no resistance?
In that heat? Well, I did cry a little bit afterwards, but it wasn't because of what happened. It was something that Miguel said. He took a puff of the cigarette and he said, "Long live the mother who made you."
Joseph Latregue, I should like to point out to you that if Miguel Osos did overpower you, and in fact did force his attentions upon you, this may prove to be extenuating circumstances in your behalf.
Forced his attentions on me. I like that. That's a nice way of putting it. I'm going to remember that. Why do I need extenuating circumstances?
Oh, one never knows. They come in handy.
You don't think I did it, do you?
I have not yet formed an opinion.
Oh,
However, if you're found at the scene of the crime with a murder weapon in your hand and there's a body on the floor...
but I like Miguel. You believe that, don't you? Please, believe that much.
All right.
Thank you. He's nice. Uh-oh, there's that book again.
Ostos spoke of suicide, didn't he?
Spaniards, they talk.
Oh, you mean you didn't think he meant it?
Him? Suicide? A man who crossed himself before we made love? Well, of course I never mentioned it to him. Who knows what a person's thinking at a time like that? I, for instance, like to think that I'm on a deck of a sailboat, the seagulls flapping all around, or that I'm way up on top of a mountain, high above the clouds. Oh, you're not very interested, are you?
If you go on like this, we'll be here all night.
Just us?
Just you. Now, answer the question. Please don't wander from the point.
Yes, sir.
Now, Ostos beat you, didn't he?
Well, we were in love.
That's why he beat you?
But never when he was drinking.
Testimony of witnesses prove that in late September and early October you exhibited bruises on your body, face, and arms, markings of beatings given to you by Miguel Ostos.
It was just in conversation. One brags a little.
You quarreled bitterly. Don't deny that. Neighbors have sworn under oath that your constant quarreling disturbed their sleep.
Ha!
What kind of an answer is that?
Neighbors. What disturbed their sleep wasn't our quarreling. What bothered them was when we made up. Ah, Miguel. He had a terrible temper, but he sure didn't hold a grudge.
At any rate, your relationship was continually violent. Do you deny that?
Well, what else could it be? He was a Spaniard. He'd sit up half the night at the window, sometimes without saying a word, and suddenly would throw himself on me, tearing at my clothes. It was a great nuisance, I promise you, because sometimes he would just tear and rip every which way, and I hate sewing. Strange, isn't it? Housework, cooking, I love all that, but I hate sewing. You're getting annoyed, aren't you?
If you would just avoid wavering from the point.
I know. I could tell by the look in your eye. How often I'd see the same expression on Miguel's face, and the next minute, he'd clap me one.
It's a temptation.
No, you're not the type.
You're very perceptive.
Well, one learns about men from men. Poor Miguel. He had only two passions in life. The other one was bullfights.
From time to time, you seem to get the two confused.
Poor Miguel. You should have seen his room. He had bullfight posters and souvenirs all over the place. He even got a Spanish newspaper for the reviews. Oh, Miguel. Just last week, he was all worked up over a corrida in Mexico City. Luis, Miguel, Domiquin, with Rodrigo bulls, the most dangerous kind, horns like sabers. Domiquin made the first few passes, kneeling in front of the barrera. He himself planted the banderillas, and with a great feina, and what a kill! A single thrust of the sword to the hilt. The crowd went mad. The judges gave him both ears, a tail, and one hoof, and even in Mexico, that's a lot. Olé, Domiquin! Olé!
Oh, God, how did we get to this?
Silent treatment.
Blow your nose.
I don't have a handkerchief.
Here.
Thank you. I hate to cry. Excuse me.
That's quite all right. Go right ahead. You feel better now?
Yes. It's just thinking about Miguel. You think wherever he is now, there are bullfights?
Bullfights? Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe just a Spanish newspaper with reviews.
Perhaps.
Oh, all right. I don't need it anymore. You can have it.
That's quite all right. You keep it. You never can tell.
No, it's all right. I don't need the handkerchief. I promise.
You were aware, were you not, that Miguel was planning to get married to someone else?
Well, he suddenly got ambitious, and, well, this girl, her parents have a lot of money. They own a butcher shop.
He was jealous.
Over father's money? Well, a butcher shop in a good location. That's really something. And my dowry. My father didn't even know about me and Miguel until we went to Paris. And then he sent me a wire. Don't come home. All is forgiven. Funny old pop.
Love or money, you knew Ostos was leaving.
What could I do? You don't think I gave me a reason to kill him, do you?
It happens. A woman scorned.
No, you've got it all wrong. I was the one who kept on reminding him about the money and telling him how beautiful she was. Beautiful. Just between us. A real dog.
At any rate, you were reconciled to losing him. It didn't bother you.
What lasts forever?
Yet he died in your room. You were nude.
Now, please, let me tell you about that. It was to be the last time. It was his idea, not mine. But I thought, well, why not part friends? I mean, I liked Miguel.
Apparently.
Poor Miguel, he was really in one of his moods. First he babbled in Spanish and then he cried. Really broke down and cried. And I tried to console him, make him feel better. About 16 tumbles. Puta, puta, puta. The next minute, he was raving. He was tearing at my clothes and throwing them all around the room. Believe me, it's a good thing I wanted to part friends. Otherwise, I would have belted him with an ashtray. I hate that kind of hurly-burly. You know, it's not something you do for exercise, is it?
Strange, isn't it? Ostos was leaving you. And by your account, he was behaving like a jealous madman.
Oh, well, he was funny in a lot of ways.
Why was he jealous?
I don't know.
Did he have a reason to be?
I don't know. Who knows what a Spaniard is jealous of?
Oh, then he was jealous.
Well, it was foolish. I shouldn't have told him.
Told him what?
Poor Miguel. I told you I liked him, didn't I?
Yes, repeatedly.
Well, I thought that if he was leaving me, he would suffer thinking that I was alone. So I told him there was someone else. Of course, that wasn't true, but it was out of kindness.
To make him feel better, there was, in fact, no other man.
Well, how could there be? When I give my heart, I give it to the hilt.
He was so considerate, even though he was going to marry Solange tomorrow.
Solange. Only a butcher would name his daughter Solange.
The truth of the matter is, Ostos and the Duval girl went out exactly once. They went to a movie, and she was hopelessly bored throughout the film because all he could talk about was you and of his insane jealousy.
Liars, all of them. Test the scales in their butcher shop and you'll see what I mean.
Why was he jealous? Of whom was he jealous?
I don't know. As Spaniards, they're jealous of shadows.
We confront you now with the testimony of Madame Marthe Herbeau.
Who?
The Beaurepaires' cook.
Oh, camel face.
Interrogated by Inspector Collard of the police department. Question. Did you know that Miguel Ostos was jealous of Josefa Latine? Answer. Yes, he was foaming like a fire extinguisher. Question. Did you know why? Answer. Yes, Miguel knew that Josefa had been unfaithful to him, but he did not know with whom. Question. Did Miguel suspect one man or many men?
What?
Be still. Answer. One man. Josefa isn't really a whore, she's just bed-minded.
Well, at last, a kind word.
And finally this from Madame Herbeau. Approximately 3 days before the shooting, Miguel stormed into my kitchen, swearing that he'd find out the identity of the man that Josefa was sleeping with. He would find out who the man was, and then boom. Boom, boom. It would be over as quickly as that. The fact is, Ostos wasn't leaving you. You were leaving Ostos, had in fact already left him.
Please, it was found in my room and you're forgetting how I was dressed.
I'll get to that. The cook also swears that Miguel told her that for 6 weeks prior to his death, Your bedroom door had been locked to him.
Between the book and the cook, you'll drive me out of my mind.
All right, the crux of the matter here is this. You had no reason to invent a lover. He existed. You discarded Miguel Ostos for another man.
So, that's what you're investigating.
Is it true?
Well, if I tell you, it all goes in that damn book. You know, I didn't mind coming here because I thought you suspected me of killing Miguel. I mean, after all, that is a crime. And now that I'm here, all you ask me is who, what, where, and with whom.
No more digressions. Will you please answer the question yes or no?
All right. Yes, it's true.
Thank you. You may smoke now if you wish.
Suddenly you're being nice to me.
We're nearly finished now. We have a motive.
The what?
Your motive for the crime. Josefa Latney, I formally charge you with the murder of Miguel Ostos.
Good for you. Say, is this a full-time job you've got here?
You were found at the scene of the crime, the murder weapon in your hand. All that was missing was the motive.
Well, since it's my motive, do you mind telling me what it is?
The lover that supplanted Ostos. That was your motive, to protect him from Ostos' jealous rage. Have you got all that?
Every word.
Now you look like a sensible fella. Would you tell him this is silly?
Pay attention to me.
Don't you
Stand
lay
up.
a finger on me!
Stand up. We're going to reenact the crime exactly as it happened that evening.
But you know all about that. Man, I knew it would come to this.
Stop!
Oh, didn't you want it exactly as it happened? Didn't he say exactly as it happened?
As a matter of fact, he did.
Sit down. What are the dimensions of your room?
It's a maid's room. Don't you know what they're like? No, I suppose you don't. I don't know. I never measured it. It's 12 feet long by 8 or 10 feet wide. I don't know.
How's it furnished?
A chest of drawers, an armchair, a small table, chair by the window, and a bed.
How big a bed?
Big enough.
You told Ostos that you were all through, that you had another lover.
Well, I had to. It was the only decent thing to do. But I told him it was nothing, just a passing fancy, a bit of foolishness.
He didn't believe you, did he?
Well, at first he did, because I swore by the head of my papa. Poor papa. But then suddenly he was raving again. He swore he'd find the man and kill him, and he rushed out of the house, still cursing and raving.
And what did you do?
Well, I couldn't run after him. I was barefoot. But I told him to stop being an idiot and come back to bed. It's my own fault for trying to part friends.
Listen, Josefa Latney, and listen carefully. If you did struggle to get the gun away from Ostos, the gun might have gone off quite easily by accident. A totally unpremeditated shooting under these circumstances, hardly a crime at all.
What gun? We were in my bedroom, not a shooting gallery.
You just told me he ran out of the house raving that he was going to find the man and kill him.
With a knife. Really, you know very little about Spaniards.
Not all of us have had your opportunities for research. And what about Ostos' speech to the cook? I will find out who the man is, and then boom. Boom, boom. It will be over as quickly as that. Boom, boom. Does that sound like a knife?
Boom, boom. No, it doesn't. Boom, boom. He got me there.
Why was a gun kept in the glove compartment of the Rolls Royce?
Which Rolls Royce? We had 3.
Huh? The limousine.
How do I know what goes on in the limousine or the glove compartment? But in my bedroom, there are no guns.
What about the gun that was found in your hand?
I was unconscious.
Conveniently. Do you know what this is? This here was made by experts in the police department. This one over here on the left is a microscopic enlargement of a gun fired from the bullet you had in your hand. This over here on the right is a similar enlargement of a bullet taken from the body of Miguel Ostos.
Ugh, how awful.
They are identical.
What a disgusting thing to carry around with you.
Furthermore, Josefa Latney, you have in your possession a fully loaded 38 caliber automatic Beretta pistol, which has been clearly identified as the gun kept in the glove compartment of the Rolls Royce. And don't say which Rolls Royce. Miguel took the gun from the car and brought it to your bedroom. And when he threatened, as you yourself have testified, that he find the man and kill him, you shot Miguel.
No, I swear that's not true.
By the head of your papa? Poor papa.
Oh, how could you hurt me so?
Because you're lying. And concealing information. Which means I must dig deeper. Don't blame me if I strike a nerve. Morris, the chalk. Get up. Over here. Now, this roughly is the shape of your room, correct?
Is he always like this?
Now, where is your bed? And don't be coy. It seems to be a landmark as well known as the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
Thank you. Now, the chest of drawers.
there.
And the windows over here on the street side, correct?
Yes,
And the doors opposite the window.
yes.
And let's see, the armchair is in front of the window. Now, by the sheer logistics of criminology, we will come to the truth of this matter. Now, I want you to study this diagram. I want you to fix it in your memory.
I like it. In the house, we have a lot of funny pictures like this. Millions, some of them cost out a bit better than yours. Well, you told me to study it, didn't you?
Just think, were the lights in your bedroom on or off?
Off.
You're positive?
Positive. Miguel, it was always in the dark. Poor Miguel. He couldn't get over thinking it was a sin. Well, maybe it is, but turning the lights out doesn't change that. And the times I've stubbed my toe in the dark, you wouldn't
You're
believe it.
wandering again. No reminiscing, please.
But these are memories of love, and they're important.
Another time. Now just stick to the facts.
Why don't you listen? Maybe you would take your minds off guns and dirty pictures of bullets. All right, the facts. There we were. The door opened, the shot was fired, he fell, and I fainted. Well, that's what you wanted, wasn't it? Isn't that what you said, the facts?
Who else has a key to your bedroom?
Nobody.
Oh, then how did the door open? How did the door open behind Osto just before the shot was fired?
I don't know.
Well, this all happened in the home of the banker, Benjamin Borum there. Now, can you honestly picture strange intruders prowling around halls, locked doors being opened, shots being fired in the dark, and people vanishing like ghosts now? Honestly, that is a ridiculous story.
I know it's ridiculous, but it's the truth, that's why. Do you think I like it? When I told it to Inspector Kalai, he took my temperature. He thought I had fever. I would love to tell you a nice, elegant story, but this is what happened. And I know it's terrible and it's clumsy, but it's the truth and it's all I have.
Morris, please make note that I'm unimpressed by the witness's outburst. Sit down. Do you have any other visitors?
When?
The night Ostos was shot.
I'm not allowed to have visitors in my room. Well, I realize that does sound ridiculous, I admit that, but poor Miguel, he wasn't really a visitor.
Would you please answer the question?
I thought I did.
A simple yes or no will suffice.
It's simple for you to say, but my head is swimming with questions and answers, and I don't know which is which.
Is it really all that difficult? All right, then. The night Ostos was shot. Other than Ostos, did you have any visitors?
No,
Thank you. Well, that narrows it down to you and the victim, doesn't it?
it was a small room.
Now, after the shot was fired, you immediately fainted,
Right away, just like that.
and you fell beside the bed.
Yes, I can prove it, because I have a bump in my head right here for where it
And
is.
just indicate the exact spot in the diagram, please.
There.
And Ostos was where?
There?
Approximately 10 feet away.
Yes, I suppose so.
Police laboratory reports that the shot was fired from a distance of approximately 10 feet.
Oh, that's what I told you all along, was from the hall when the door opened.
Or from the bed, here, approximately 10 feet away from the bed by you.
We were in my bedroom. What would I be doing with a gun? Now, where would it be?
Anywhere, in the bedclothes, under the bed.
Oh, you have a strange idea what goes on in a girl's bedroom.
I dare say it came as a surprise to Ostos, too. Now, do you know any lawyers who might represent you in this case?
No,
You're going to need one.
I don't want a lawyer. I know enough lawyers.
Knowing one more won't corrupt you. I'll see that proper counsel is assigned to your case.
I don't want a lawyer.
Now listen to me, Josepha Latine, and listen carefully. Do you realize the amount of trouble you're in?
I'm choking on it.
Well, that's not all. There's more. Ostos didn't die immediately.
He lived for a few minutes and he talked.
You mean Miguel saw himself dying? Oh, God, why don't you tell me that?
Because he talked. In front of witnesses, he said, Josefa, why did you do it?
Miguel died thinking that I had killed him? Oh, Miguel, wherever you are, you know I didn't do it.
It is a powerful accusation against you.
I know. Poor Miguel.
Stop saying poor Miguel. His troubles are over. Yours are just about to begin. You know what this is? This is a warrant for your arrest. There is a guard waiting out in that corridor to take you to prison. The next step is trial, and then prison again, or worse.
Do I look like a killer? Or sound like one? Miguel and I were lovers. He was very dear to me. Why would I kill him?
I told you why, to protect someone, the man you love now.
No, I swear that's
Come on,
not
now,
true.
say quickly the name of that other man.
The warrant is ready. I'm ready.
Suddenly you're very hard, very determined.
Can't I just go to prison without all these speeches?
You won't give me the name of the other man?
No.
And yet you tell me that you could not kill Hostos to protect that man right here and right now. You are risking everything for that man.
That is my affair.
It's mine too, because it proves to me what you're capable of.
Oh, really? You know very little about justice and nothing about love.
Perhaps I'll learn from you, as Hostos did.
Oh, you are heartless.
You there, guard! Take her away. Get her out of here.
I'm ready.
Very good. But the fact is, I thought you were about to get your confession. If you had pushed that final accusation just a little bit further. What?
She's innocent.
Innocent? But the way you questioned the file, the evidence.
I questioned her like that, proved to her how much trouble she was in. She talks anyway. Idiot. She's gonna chatter her way right up the steps to the guillotine.
Innocent, but where's that going to leave us?
Leaves us with a nice, juicy, unsolved murder.
Chief prosecutor hates those. Say, you sure she's innocent? I mean, if we have to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, let's give it to the chief prosecutor.
Come on. Lock up. I've had quite enough on my first day.
Magistrate reads law books all day. I knew this would happen.
Hello? Am I disturbing you?
No, not a bit. Come on in. Oh, he'll be right down. He's with the chief prosecutor.
The chief prosecutor? Was it because of the newspapers?
Probably.
But it wasn't Paul's fault. He was only doing his duty.
No more and no less. Your husband is absolutely fair and fearless. He's a passionate administrator of justice. Those are wonderful qualities. If only he wasn't a magistrate.
Is the chief difficult?
When a chief was on the bench, he was known as Judge Necessity. Judge Necessity, get it? Necessity knows no law.
That's a good one.
Excuse me, I have a little more work to do. We start the interrogation in a few minutes.
Yes, I know. Go right ahead. What is she like?
She? Oh, she!
Is she pretty?
Yes.
The photograph in the paper this morning didn't look very pretty.
Well, she is. Not at first, but later one becomes aware of it.
Do you think she's innocent?
No, she says she is.
But don't they all say that?
Yeah, but she says it differently.
It's just not fair. We've only arrived, haven't even found an apartment yet. Why couldn't Paul get something nice? A white-collar case, like a bank robbery. Why should he get this? And what right has she got to be innocent?
Who knows? The criminal mind
And
is
Paul
just...
is always for the underdog. This is compulsion. Even when there isn't any underdog, He finds the dog and puts him under.
You know,
Understand, you should have heard the old boy. Remarkable lung power for a man of his years. Oh, that's darling, what a surprise.
Oh, what happened?
Well, the chief began with a ringing affirmation of the guiding principle of the higher court, equal justice under law. And then he ended by swearing he'd kick my ass all the way back to the hall.
Paul.
He was just joking. The chief prosecutor has a remarkable sense of humor, hasn't he? You understand?
it's remarkable, really.
It's inconvenient, isn't it, that you think the girl is innocent?
Yes, very. Apparently for any number of people involved. You know, it's funny. One chattering idiot of a girl and all that money and power trying to squeeze her into a comfortable little cell. Did you know that the Benjamin Beaurepaires have 3 Rolls Royces? I've got one Simca, vintage 1963, and Josepha Latney has a second-hand bicycle. On sheer horsepower, we're outclassed.
Wait. That's us, you and I.
I'm not forgetting that.
Perhaps I better go out in.
No, sit down. What's that? What do you think I should do?
I don't know. But if your superiors want something done a certain way, it's your responsibility, isn't it?
Up to a point,
Then
yes.
do it. It's nothing but sheer ego to defy them. You're jeopardizing your career and everything we've worked for.
Antoinette, darling, I assure you on my experience and honor as a lawyer, I believe the girl is innocent.
Innocent? A little tramp who doesn't even wear underpants?
Well, if that's all she were charged with, I wouldn't lift a finger to help her. But she's charged with murder, and I have to care about that. Now, I don't mean that, the murder. I mean that, justice.
Oh, that's pompous and pretentious.
Yes, it is. Shouldn't be. I'm a magistrate and a lawyer. I ought to be able to use the word justice without sounding like a son of church.
Paul, you're such a schoolboy. You can be hoodwinked into anything.
You ought to know.
Will you stop this silly nonsense about the girl?
I'm afraid it's too late. I can't. I tried to warn you even before we were married. I told you that I was a man with integrity. You seem to be pleased.
I thought you were lying. A lawyer. I never dreamed you were telling the truth.
Well, we're tricky, us lawyers. Now, run along.
All right. Are you going to be questioning the girl again soon?
Yes, we'll start with her.
Goodbye, darling. Get home just as early.
I promise.
Goodbye, Mr. Morrison.
But, Madam Speaker.
And then, your gloves.
Oh, thank you, darling. How silly of me to leave them.
No, it wasn't so at all. We just wanted an excuse to come back for a look at Josepha Latney. And law.
Really?
Understand, when I'm questioning the girl, I shall ask you to bring in another witness for confrontation.
Yes, who?
No matter, but when I do, be sure to take your time. Take a look at papers. Tie a shoelace, anything, but be sure and take your time.
Indefinitely?
Just for a few minutes. You'll be able to judge for yourself. Well then, let's have her in. Sit down, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle. You called me Mademoiselle. Is this one of your tricks?
Sit down, mademoiselle.
I don't think anyone's ever called me that before. It's always, hey, you, or hurry up, Josepha, or watch out with that broom, stupid. But never Mademoiselle. To get that, I had to get thrown in prison. Thanks anyway.
You're welcome. Now then, to resume.
Oh, that prison. Do you know what it's like?
If you'll just be quiet.
How would you
listen.
like it if 2 women stripped you to the skin and searched you everywhere? Horribly.
Prison is supposed to be unpleasant so that people will try to avoid being put in it.
And look at this picture they took of me. I look terrible.
Where did you get that? Prisoners are not supposed to get newspapers.
Ha, lad, you know. The first few days in a woman's prison, you can get anything you want. The other girls just buzz around you, offering you extra food and candy and newspapers. But don't worry, you pay. Tonight or tomorrow night, they're going to be looking for me. Your prison.
It's not my prison. And stop that.
All right. Please don't put me back in that horrible hole. I'll do anything. I'll confess. Just let me go.
If you'll just be quiet and listen.
All right. What do you want me to tell you?
We have some unfinished business, you and I. Now then, the name of your lover.
Miguel Ostos. Well, he was.
The other man.
He left town 2 weeks ago. And anyway, he's got nothing to do with this.
I'm not surprised that Miguel did beat you.
No, even Miguel said he did it in self-defense when I was being too much of an idiot.
Do you want to go back to prison?
No, I'd rather you beat me.
Then I'll ask you one more time, Josefa Latne, and I warn you that if you beat around the bush...
I forgot my gloves.
What?
I must have left them on the chair, or perhaps the desk.
Antoinette, will you kindly leave at once?
Oh, here they are.
All right, now you may go.
Antoinette!
All right, just going. Get home as early as you can. We have a lot to talk about.
Your wife? You married a young one, huh? I didn't think you were the type.
Are there any other comments you'd like to make about my wife?
She's very pretty.
Thanks. She liked you too. Now then, where were we? Yes, the other man. Now, you are being your sweet, reasonable self again, aren't you?
I want to be. I cried for 11 hours in that filthy cell, and they said it was a prison record. If you put me back there, it'll even be worse.
So?
I won't give you the name of someone who's innocent and let him get mixed up in this. I call that being an informer.
I guarantee you that in a couple of minutes you'll give me the name of that man.
All right. I don't mind waiting. That's right. Hit me.
How did you get on with your employer?
Madame Beaurepaire? Oh, she's very nice. We're all crazy about her. She's more like a wonderful older sister to me than an employer.
When interrogated by Inspector Cola of the police department, you said, and here I quote, "Oh, Madame Beaurepaire, she's all right if you like the snooty icebox type."
I said that? Not Madame? I'm an ungrateful pig.
And Monsieur Beaurepaire?
Oh, well, he's very elegant, you know. Probably very nice, too, but quite frankly, I don't understand half of what he says.
Did you have many conversations?
Well, his parlor maid in his parlor. Naturally, I have things to talk to him about. What, don't you talk to your parlor maid?
I will, when I get one. So you did not get along with Monsieur Beaurepaire?
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly, but, well, you see what I am. I'm a simple girl, and I talk too much. And Monsieur Beaurepaire is a banker from a noble family, terribly well-bred.
You mean there was a gulf between you?
That's right, a real gulf.
Were you and Ostos on vacation together?
No, Miguel went to the Basque country. There were great bullfights in Dax and Bayonne and Biarritz all over. Domiquin and Ardennes. Mano a mano. Well, he couldn't miss those.
And you?
I stayed at the country house with my family. With the family, so close to home that I could be with my old papa.
Then when you were all back in Paris in October, Ostos' day off was changed.
Oh, was that when it happened?
And then he began raving about his jealousy.
Well, you must remember he was always raving about something. It wasn't about me. It was the Paris weather or the French food or the cowardly bulls. He never just talked, he raved.
Police interrogation of the cook. A week after we were back in Paris in October, Miguel swore that Josefa had turned against him. I was a fool to let her go down to the country alone, he cried. She's been tripping over roots again down there and without me.
That cook, she's still giving me heartburn.
What happened in Haute-Vive in September?
Well, it rained part of the time. I saw quite a bit of Papa. Had picnics and went swimming with some of the boys and girls from the old days, that sort of thing, not very much.
Did you enjoy your holiday?
It was nice. Dull, but it was nice. Now, why are you so interested in my vacation?
Oh, I'm not. Just passing the time. Morstein, would you kindly show in the witness Benjamin Beaurepaire, please?
Monsieur Beaurepaire here?
Morstein, quickly!
Oh, they took everything away from me, Chris. My lipstick, my powder, everything. Oh, why does he have to see me this way?
told you you'd give me the name of the man.
Do you like doing this sort of work, monsieur?
Try not to hate me too much.
Oh, I don't hate you. I don't hate anyone. But don't be surprised if you hate yourself.
Idiot. Do you have to be tricked into helping yourself?
Idiot, because I won't betray someone. Well, thank you very much.
All right, Joan of Arc. Sit down.
No, madame, your interrogation is later.
Not at all. You've misunderstood.
No, there's no mistake. Please wait.
Oh, my dear Judge, I was just
I'm not the
informing you.
judge, madame. I'm only a magistrate.
Charming. My, what a cozy little office you have here. Strange, isn't it, how much at home I feel in this room? Perhaps it's due to the fact that I have so many friends and relatives in the judiciary.
Well, thank you very much. Now, if you'd be kind enough to wait in the corridor.
Wait in the corridor?
Or in the adjoining room, if you prefer.
But surely you don't intend to question my husband alone without me.
Yes, in my opinion, that would be best.
Ridiculous. Why can't I be present?
Because in this office, madame, it is I who give the orders, and in all due respect, I must ask you to wait outside.
Benjamin, did you hear that?
I did, my dear Dominique.
Is that all you have to say?
No doubt our learned friend could have expressed himself with more affability, but he may perhaps be pressed for time.
Fantastic, isn't it? I don't understand half of what he says.
And we have you to thank, Josepha, for all of this unpleasantness.
So it seems, madame.
And to think I have always had such confidence in you. And I was kind to you.
Very kind, madame.
Morristan, would you kindly show madame into the corridor at once?
Benjamin,
Yes, my dear Dominique.
do you hear the tone of voice in which this man is addressing me?
I detected no coarseness or undue lack of courtesy in his address, my dear.
Very well. I'll wait.
Thank you, madame.
I must explain, my dear Judge, that Dominique, Madame Beaurevert, does not mean to be overbearing, but hers is an ancient family, descended, I believe, in a direct line from Attila the Hun.
Oh,
Now, thank you, my dear Judge.
I'm not judge. I'm only a magistrate. Now then, kindly state your name, present address, and occupation.
Benjamin Beaurevert, 112 Rue de la Façonnerie, banker.
You've lost weight, monsieur.
A little. And you do not look too well, my poor Giuseppe.
Oh, well, prison, you know. They don't let us wear very much makeup.
Prison. Poor Giuseppe.
Don't you worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt. I know it's rude, but we have this murder here on our hands.
Of course. Pay attention, Giuseppe.
Yes, sir.
Now
He's
then-
very nice. At first I didn't think so because he sent me to prison, but you'll see, he's really very nice.
Will you be quiet?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you returned to Paris in October, Ostos's day off was changed from Wednesday to Thursday. Do you know why?
I suppose it was due to some idiosyncrasy of household management.
Would you mind using simpler language in your replies?
I wouldn't mind, but I don't know how.
Did you personally order the change?
No. Is that simply enough?
Did you know that Miguel Ostos had been a lover of Josepha Latenay?
I share the philosophy of the late Emperor Frederick the Great. In my state, declared His Majesty, every man shall amuse himself as he sees fit.
In addition to Ostos, there was yet another man.
Youth. Youth.
Do you know the identity of this other man?
Without infringing on the rights and privileges of your high office, may I ask a question?
Well, please.
Do you know the identity of the other man?
I think so. Yes.
I feel a natural apprehension about my wife, you understand. Do you suppose we can continue to share the secret between us?
I hope so.
I swear I told him nothing. My idiot face betrayed me when you were announced.
Then you do admit that you are, in fact, the other man.
Oh, I do, and with pleasure.
Oh, thank you, and for saying it so simply so I can understand.
Oh, do you know how to shut her up?
Frankly, not for very long. And that only by a method I should hesitate to employ before witnesses of either sex.
Now, when did your affair begin? And where?
in our country house in Oak Reeve in September.
Thursday, 11th September, just before 12 noon.
Yes, I remember. I was starting to think about lunch.
And something put it out of your mind.
Oh, man cannot live by bread alone.
It was sudden, wasn't it?
Well, to say that I had been for some time becoming aware of Josepha would not be entirely untruthful.
Are you answering yes or no?
I am answering. The rest is up to you.
All right, now back to your summer home. 11 September, Thursday, just before lunch. Would you kindly take it from there?
Well, the country in September is not the liveliest atmosphere in France, you understand. My wife has her horses and friends who ride and hunt, but strange as it may seem to you, I am not the outdoor type.
I accept that.
The indoor life, in fact, often yields rather more adventure.
I know, that's why we're all here.
He doesn't like it when you stray from the point.
Oh, my apologies. Where were we?
We were at the library in Oak Reeve. I was waxing the floor, remember?
Oh, yes, how could I forget? A superb room, almost 50 feet in length and 30 across. Josepha is an excellent worker, you know, and she had the floor gleaming like a skating rink. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the point of view, soon after I entered, she tripped.
And fell?
Just so.
And you leaped forward to help her, and then you both fell.
But my dear chap, that's precisely what happened. How did you know?
Statistics. Continue.
Well, there we were, slipping and sliding. To be entirely truthful, I must tell you, she was very little in the way of...
Oh, he knows that.
Oh, I must say, your examinations are extremely thorough.
Now this is when Josepha became your mistress.
My what?
He means me.
But of course, you are my mistress. I had never thought of it precisely that way. Semantically, of course, you are entirely correct.
Semantically, biologically, legally, that is the fact, is it not?
Oh, yes.
And from then on?
I had not intended to embark on a prolonged relationship. I mean no offense, my dear.
Oh, I didn't even know you were talking about me.
But as I had already implied, Oak Reeve in September offers only limited and monotonous amusements. And Josepha, my learned friend, this girl is more attractive than you would think possible.
And Ostos?
Not nearly as attractive. Of course, if your taste runs toward Southern Spanish chauffeurs.
I mean, how did Ostos react?
Oh, Miguel knew nothing.
He was on vacation in the Basque Country, an aficionado, has the Spanish passion for bullfighting.
Ole, ole.
Yes, precisely. Ole, ole.
Now, back to Paris in October. What about Ostos then?
Well, as you have surmised, my learned friend, it was found expedient to change his free day. On other occasions, it was relatively simple to find or invent an errand for him in some remote part of the city, even in the suburbs. Once when I was coming back from the south, he waited all night long at Orly Field for my plane. Actually, I had arrived at dinner time at Le Bourget and came home quietly by taxi. Remember?
Poor Miguel. He caught cold and cursed and sneezed for 2 days.
Ah, it was marvelous being with Josepha while he waited all night at the wrong airport.
Oh, well, you see, it was the idea of a joke, you understand. I mean, there was no real anger between Monsieur Beaurepaire and Miguel.
Oh, nonsense. I detested him.
Before your affair with Josepha or since?
Oh, long before. Well, for one thing, he was well over 6'4", and I usually take an instant dislike to anyone taller than I am. Naturally, that wasn't true of General de Gaulle.
Your dislike of Ostos was based entirely upon altitude?
Oh, no. It's true he was a tall, handsome brute and looked very well in uniform. But there was this baffling air of insolence about him. He seemed to resent being ordered to do this or that.
That's true. It was his pride. He said just because I'm a chauffeur and a valet, they treat me like a servant.
Why did you keep him in your employ?
Well, at first because he was a skilled chauffeur. And then afterwards, I was afraid if I sent him packing, he might take Josepha with him.
Oh, that was kind. Thank you, sir.
No, not at all. In any event, the problem of Ostos no longer exists.
That certainly is true, isn't it? Couldn't be better if you'd arranged matters yourself.
If you are speaking as a member of the staff of the prosecutor, it would perhaps be best if I made no comment.
Why was a gun kept in the glove compartment of the Rolls-Royce?
Which Rolls-Royce?
I let myself in for that one, didn't I? All right, then the limousine. I don't say it was standard equipment.
The vehicle in question is actually owned by the bank. Some aspect of taxation. It is occasionally used for inconspicuous transfers of large sums of valuables.
And at any rate, you knew the gun was there.
Oh, I put it there.
Are you familiar with ordinary firearms?
My dear fellow, I was one of the best shots in France.
He gave it up. He's too kind to kill anything, and besides that, he won't admit it, but he has terrible eyesight.
If Monsieur Beaurepaire wants a lawyer, let him choose one.
Yes. You were the first one into the room after the shooting, correct?
Yes, that is so.
You hesitate.
Only because I believe it is a question of some importance. I was the first.
You were attracted to the scene by the shot.
Well, I was in my dressing room. At first I thought it might have been the backfire of a car, but in our street, cars don't do that. So I rushed downstairs to investigate.
Upon entering the room, what did you see?
Giuseppa was lying at the foot of the bed.
Go on.
She was nude.
Yes, that has been established by all the witnesses.
Well, my immediate concern, of course, was for Giuseppa, but I could see at once that she was unharmed. Her chest was rising and falling regularly in a manner both tranquil and profound. Rising, falling.
You didn't also happen to notice the body of Miguel Ostos anywhere in the room?
Oh, yes, he was lying just inside the door. I had to step over him, in fact, to get to Giuseppa, which I did.
He was still alive, wasn't
He was.
he? He was quite conscious?
Well, he was alive, gasping.
Gasping. He was trying to say something.
I had that impression, yes.
Could you clearly understand what it was he was trying to say?
You know, a foreigner, even under the best conditions, his accent was quite coarse, not his old Parisian. And also, he was the type who spoke wildly at all times, even when he had not been shot.
What were his exact words?
A dying man, and you quibble about exact words.
Approximately what were his exact words?
It's unfair to ask Monsieur Beaurepaire that question in front of me.
Thank you for understanding, Giuseppa. Sensitive. It's really quite amazing. She's had little or no education.
I must insist that you answer. What were Ostos' last words?
I'll answer. He said, Giuseppa, why did you do it? He said it over and over again.
Why do you answer? Did you hear the words spoken?
Well, I was unconscious. I'm just repeating what you told me.
And I'm just repeating what Monsieur Beaurepaire told the police.
Isn't that right, monsieur?
Yes. Actually, it was my wife who mentioned it to Inspector Cola.
But it was you who heard Ostos say it.
It remains the principal cause of her incrimination.
Nonsense. What about the gun in my hand? Pay no attention to him, Monsieur Beaurepaire. There's plenty of evidence against me.
I have the impression that you are reproaching me for aiding justice in this affair.
Good for you. Now, what do you have to say about that?
I'm just surprised that you could so blithely incriminate a girl who was supposed to have meant something to you.
It was not something I enjoyed doing, you understand?
At any rate, your statement to the police incriminates her on the unverifiable words of a dead man.
I am not entirely sure I like the implications of the word unverifiable. Are you making the point that I invented these words?
Well, you might have invented them. It is possible.
Oh, don't you say such wicked things, Tim. Tell him who you are.
It takes so long.
At any rate, the point at issue here is the statement allegedly made by a dying man in a murder case that is crucial.
Why? If I were dying, I might say anything.
Well, in a less sophisticated environment, the assumption is that under these circumstances, one tells the truth. My God, you've got me talking that way.
I am honored.
I am not, sir. Bluntly, you were the first one in the room after Ostos was shot. The girl is unconscious. Ostos is dying. You are alone. You have the opportunity to put into Ostos' mouth words that seem useful.
That's the silliest thing I ever heard.
Oh, is it?
Yes, words like Giuseppa, why did you do it? If Monsieur Beaurepaire made up that sentence, it would be 5 times longer and nobody would understand a word of it.
A valid point. As you yourself have observed, my speech does have traces of pomposity. And now, if I may comment on your own mode of speech, I am intrigued by your choice of the word useful. Why would I find it useful to invent Ostos' last words?
Because for some days before the shooting, Ostos suspected you, and furthermore, you knew it.
No, he didn't know it. I knew it, but he did not know it.
Ah, there you are.
We'll see about that.
Watch out for that book. It's loaded.
I refer you to a conversation you had with the cook, Madame Marthe Herbeau.
Who?
The cook. Camel face.
Approximately 3 weeks before the shooting, Madame tried to warn you to stop seeing Josefa. She also warned you that Ostos suspected what was going on, and you told her, and here now I quote, "What can I do, Marta? I can't give her up. She's in my blood."
Me in
Well?
your blood? Oh, what an honor.
Well,
It does not seem to be an entirely characteristic remark for me to make, does it?
are you denying that you made it?
No, it's just that I can't remember.
Perhaps if I read a little bit further in the conversation, your memory will improve.
You can try, but quite candidly, I doubt it.
Monsieur has a terrible memory. He forgets everything. Names, dates, places, everything.
Will you be quiet? Another word from you and I'll have you thrown out of the room.
Charming, isn't it? She's on trial for murder, and all she can think about is defending you.
Yes, I find it touching and beautiful. Thank you, Josefa.
It's nothing.
No, my dear Josefa, it is something very special which I shall always remember.
Please, no tripping over roots here. Now then, the cook also tried to warn you that Ostos had been brandishing a knife. And you told here, now here again I quote, don't worry, Marta. The knife is a romantic but outmoded weapon in terms of modern armament, especially if opposed by a gun.
I admit that sounds like me.
That's ridiculous. Could you imagine Monsieur Beaurepaire in a conversation like that with the cook?
Will you shut up?
And besides that, there were no witnesses.
One more word and I will have you thrown out of this room.
But nevertheless, a valid point has been made. No witnesses?
If it's witnesses you want, I refer you to a conversation you had at the Volnay Club with Monsieur Guillaume Jourdan. You told Monsieur Jourdan that you were in love with a certain Jojo. Now, you didn't also happen to tell Monsieur Jourdan that Jojo also happened to be your maid, but you did say, and now here again I quote, to keep her I would be capable of anything, even a divorce, even a crime.
Oh, that son of a bitch!
Wonderful. Your language is becoming much simpler now. The conversation is verified by the bartender and 2 other members of the club.
That's club life for you nowadays.
Is your memory improving?
I remember something like that conversation.
Congratulations.
Damned witnesses. A private conversation in my club. Can't even resign. I bought a life membership.
It was a lot of loose talk. He was probably on his 7th whiskey.
Josefa, be still. Are you implying that I killed Ostos?
Well, let's see how it shapes up. Shall we? Now, a charge of murder to be sustained consists of 3 major elements: motive, opportunity, and premeditation. Now, your conversations with the cook and at the Volnay Club provide us with a motive. Opportunity certainly existed. And premeditation may be assumed if you had arranged to be alone in the house that night.
What I had in mind was not murder.
In addition, you were the first one to appear at the scene of the crime.
Please bear in mind after the crime.
But if you had arranged matters that way.
Oh!
It is just such innuendo and insinuation that makes a hollow mockery of justice in our times. I wish you good day.
Good day. I might remind you that Madame Beaurepaire is still waiting in the corridor. Thank you.
A man caught between a prosecutor and his wife has little or no choice. Continue.
Ordinarily, the cook would have been in the house that night, but you bribed her to go out.
That cook with a mouth as big as her oven.
Do you know what the penalty is for perjury?
Perjury?
Lying.
Oh, lying. Well, I don't mean any harm when I do it.
Approximately exactly 2 days ago, you were asked the following question. On the night Ostos was shot, other than Ostos, did you have any visitors? Now, you replied by jabbering about everything underneath the sun. But when you were finally forced to answer, pressed, you said no. Now, do you wish to change that answer?
No.
I'll give you one more opportunity. Did you have any other visitors?
Send me back to prison.
Sit down!
I insist!
Answer the question, Josefa.
What? No.
Here's the question. Answer itself.
We were together that night from 8 o'clock until 10. My wife was visiting friends. It was a simple matter to get rid of the cook for the evening, and Ostos was sent on an errand to our branch bank in Lyon.
That is confirmed by the police.
I'm a fast driver, and I could not have been back before midnight at the earliest. It's utter madness that he was home by 11. I would have sworn it was impossible.
I bet you were surprised to see him.
Eh? Ah, yes, I see what you mean. You are suggesting that he found us together.
A jealous outrage. Ostos was famous for those, wasn't he? He caught you together, he attacked you, and you fired in legitimate self-defense.
Is that a firm offer?
I can't give it to you in writing.
It won't be necessary. I left Josepha at 10 o'clock.
Right, 10 o'clock on the dot. I looked at my watch and I heard the clock striking.
Why 10 o'clock if you didn't expect Ostos back until after midnight?
Unfortunately, my wife's arrival could not be as accurately predicted. Besides, 8 until 10, when is no longer in the first fine flush of youth. My dear fellow, without prejudice to the investigation, you might omit that last remark.
And besides that, it's just not true.
Thank you, Josepha.
8 until 10. Well out of the way before anything could happen to Ostos. You had another plan to meet that evening, didn't you?
Yes.
No.
At 11 o'clock, the time Ostos was shot.
Yes.
No.
Well, certainly what you had in mind takes two.
We had planned to meet at 11 o'clock. I sent Josepha a note telling her so.
No, I never got a note. It's not true.
Let's not confuse each other over trifles, my dear.
I never got a note. I knew nothing about meeting you at
You
11.
out! Morrison, get
No, I won't interrupt again, I promise.
See, the cook was already out of the way. My wife decided to stay with her friends for dinner. Why girl was waiting.
That's why. Why indeed. Now, your conversation with the cook and with the barmaid, that indicates quite a degree of feeling, don't they?
But I tell you, he must have been drinking.
Josepha, it's enough. It's not important.
It is important. He's accusing you. Tell him.
No, I am not accusing Monsieur Bonavert. Monsieur Bonavert is accusing himself. His own words are accusing him. To keep her, I would be capable of anything, even a crime, even a divorce. Is that how you feel?
No, he's like that. I'm not like that,
I
no.
think it's time Monsieur Bonavert spoke for himself. How do you feel?
This is how. I have a brutal, raging need of her. She is in my blood, like a fever that sets me trembling. Craving. I'm addicted to her. When I'm deprived of the relief that only she can give me, dull, aching pain settles in the back of my skull and throbs there, hammering at me. But I don't love her. I feel nothing for her except my need of her. Is that love? Is an addict in love with his heroin or cocaine?
No, don't say that.
I must. I don't care what you think or what you suspect. I'm saying this to break the relationship, to be free. Do you think I would kill Ostos, divorce my wife, and then what? Live with her, torn between her embarrassed silence and insane, explosive jealousy, to be perpetually at the mercy of her mood? No. No, thank you. In time, I think I could have killed. But only one of us, Josepha or myself. That at least would buy me back my freedom. But killing Ostos to have her for myself? That meant slavery.
I want very much to faint. Very much.
Well, at least your relationship is clarified.
It's cold in here.
I had to do it. I'm sorry, Josepha.
Miguel at least hit me with his fists.
Can I go now?
In a few moments. Magistrate's office. Oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd be delighted to hear your opinion, sir.
I was ashamed of my ignorance.
Go right ahead, sir.
I used to wish you'd speak more simply so I could understand. Well, finally. Turn around. You used to swallow me with your eyes. At least look at me now. Liar. Does an addict love his drug? Now that's a pretty speech I'll always remember.
No, sir.
I wanted you to need me the way I needed you.
Go right ahead, sir.
Not on prescription, like a painkiller. forgive me for the headaches I gave you. And for having meant so much to you. Forgive me for that, too. And for having pleased you so much. My God, what lies. Liar! Liar!
No, sir, I didn't say anything.
You used to whisper that I gave you wings.
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
That my body was a launching pad for a rocket of dreams. What kind of drug is that? You've gotten rid of that dull, aching pain in the back of your skull, haven't you? Well, I've got it now. You've given it to me.
Please, I can't hear anything.
The village idiot, that's me.
Yes, sir, that's
I
my
believe
opinion, too.
everything. My wife doesn't understand me. Nobody believes that anymore, but I believed it. My wife and I live like brother and sister, and I have nobody. And I believed that, too. I knew it was a lie, and I believed it.
Will you please stop? I'm talking to the chief prosecutor.
And those poker games that you had at your club all night.
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
How many nights I lay weeping at your lies and heard you creeping upstairs to your wife. Sneaking upstairs to your wife.
What do you say?
Liar. What a cheap, stupid lie. Did you deny it? Just last Tuesday, another all-night card game. Midnight, I heard you creeping upstairs to your wife.
Tuesday. I played until 7 o'clock in the morning. I lost 20,000 francs.
Stop it! I heard the key in the door, and I heard your footsteps quietly going up the stairs.
Who was he? Who was the man?
It was you. Oh, who else had a key to the front door every time you had an all-night poker game? Oh.
Dominique?
Sir, if I could call you back in a few moments, there seems to be an important development in the case.
Dominique. My wife. My head. Every time I played poker. Dominique.
Yes, sir, I'm aware of what the Beaurevert family name stands for. And, Madame Beaurevert, too, yes. Monsieur Beaurevert, I particularly know what he stands for. So does he.
I must say, Savigny, that you surprised me. 48 hours ago, I gave you an assignment about as innocent of repercussions as a grocer charged with blocking the sidewalk. 2 days, 2 little days, and suddenly we have something like the Dreyfus case on our hands. You are pursuing a very dangerous course.
Do I have any choice?
All right. Let's examine the revised situation. It would appear that you have uncovered some indiscretion on the part of Madame Beaurevert.
She had a mother.
Horrible! Nobody in Paris would believe such a thing.
Well, I didn't find the news overwhelming, and the husband involved, you should have seen the look on Monsieur Beaurevert's face when the news hit him.
And for that very reason, I must urge you not to believe too much. Husbands, even wives in such circumstances, are notoriously vindictive.
I'm aware of that.
And furthermore, to conclude that such a situation would inevitably lead to murder is sheer insanity. My God, if that were true, you'd hear nothing but gunfire all day long, and the streets of Paris would be choked with funeral processions.
I draw no conclusions. I prefer you to judge the testimony for yourself.
All right.
Ready, Morstead?
Yes, sir. Question. Are you now prepared to make a statement? Answer. Yes, I want to settle with that bitch.
What? He used that word?
I'm only reading it.
His language became surprisingly colloquial. Go ahead, Morstead.
It was not I who was the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. It was my wife.
What? Does he explain his original statement?
Go ahead, Morstead.
Question. Why did you previously state that it was you who was the first to arrive? Answer. It was my wife's idea.
Ha!
Question. If you knew it was not true, why did you agree? Answer. I was completely bewildered, and I had complete confidence in Dominique. Besides, I thought I could help Josepha by suppressing the statement Dominique told me Hostos made while he was dying, in which he accused Josepha of the shooting.
Is that True.
Yes, Inspector Collard of the police department confirms that Monsieur Bonavert withheld information until it was dropped by Madame.
No.
Go ahead, mister.
Question. What did you see upon entering the room? Answer. My wife was bending over Josepha, who was unconscious on the floor. I believed her then when she told me that Josepha had shot her lover, but I think now that she was just putting the revolver in Josepha's hand.
As I warned you, the words of a vindictive husband.
Question. Ostos was much taller than you. How is it possible that your wife could have mistaken him for you?
An excellent point.
Answer. It was due to modesty. Question. Whose modesty? Answer. Ostos' modesty. The room was in complete darkness. My wife fired at a shadow she thought was mine. Poor Ostos. He would be alive today if he was at all like me, because in similar circumstances, I like to see what I am doing. But for Ostos' modesty, my wife would be a rich, beautiful young widow. A decent interval of mourning. Dominique looks marvelous in black, by the way, and my wife would be free to marry her lover. Question. Who is the man? Answer. Monsieur Jean-Claude de Benoit, 139 Rue de Verlaine, Paris, 7th arrondissement, telephone Invalides 9823. Question. Are you sure he is the man? Answer. Question. How is it that you are so sure he is the man? Answer. He is my best friend.
Charming lot, your Bonavert.
They are not my Beaurepaire, and so far what they've done is not illegal. It's not even unpopular. Go on.
Question. There is no doubt in your mind that Monsieur de Benoit is a man. Answer. None whatever. He and my wife were inseparable due to their mutual passion for horses, or so I thought. He spent all the holidays with us at Haute-Rive, hunting, riding, and racing. Now I remember how many times they came in from the trails, they were exhausted, and the horses were fresh. Question. Do you now formally accuse your wife of murdering Ostos? Answer. I do.
Now that's certainly illegal and probably unpopular.
She makes the same accusation against him, doesn't she?
Yes, but he adds a few more details. Some of them quite convincing. Skip ahead to the part about the gloves.
Question. Do you believe your wife could actually plan a premeditated, cold-blooded murder? Answer. Ha! That's H-A with the... Question. Could you be more precise? Answer. My wife intercepted the note I had sent to Josepha. She expected to find me in the room. Furthermore, I call your attention that she was still wearing her gloves, so that her fingerprints would not appear on the gun or anywhere in the room.
In the police interrogation, did he not mention she was wearing her gloves?
No. Go ahead.
Question. Why did you withhold this information from the police? Answer. It did not seem important. Question. Why does it seem important now? Answer. Because when a wife has a lover, all her actions seem more important.
God knows that's true. But it has no legal bearing whatsoever. She had a reasonable explanation for everything, didn't she?
Oh, she was fantastically good. Calm, poised, serene. She sat there like Whistler's mother, dressed by Dior. And then suddenly a tiny crack in that glossy surface.
Question. Did you wear your gloves that night, madame? Answer.
Now, this was followed by a terribly long silence.
Well, I haven't marked silence. Answer. I may have. I was just coming in from outdoors when I heard the shot, and I may not have taken the time to take off my gloves.
Now, here is when she realized that her husband had, in fact, talked.
Question. You seem pale, madame. Would you like a glass of water? She takes a drink. Answer. If I am pale, it is because of the strain on me. I love my husband, whatever his shortcomings, but I have endured too much.
Now, here her voice broke, and she very reluctantly told us her story. Modest, and kindly read us that tender chapter in the home life of the Bonavert family, if you will.
Question. What did you see upon entering the room? Answer. My husband... Answer. Ostos was lying dead on the floor. My husband was on his knees beside Josepha. At my entrance, he gave a wild cry of alarm like some trapped animal. I panicked, and with his frenzied pleadings in my ears, I became his accomplice. I was not wearing my gloves, but he used them to wipe the fingerprints from the gun and then put it in Josefa's hand.
God, you read badly.
I'm a clerk. I read like a clerk.
Would you like to hear what happened when they were face to face?
No spamming. They actually repeated their statements then?
Savagely. They shouted unprintable things at each other, monstrous accusations, and then they signed them.
Good work. Splendid. Identical confessions. They accuse each other. Not very conclusive, is it?
Oh, not very.
Morristown, would you mind stepping over to the second tribunal and looking in on the Trevion case? Let me know what happens.
Yes, sir.
We do want to give this some thought, don't we? Ostos is dead. The girl is lying unconscious. The husband and wife accuse each other, and generally speaking, that cancels their testimony. The result, no witnesses.
I'm aware of that.
Husband and wife, that's tricky business. I'm a husband myself, and I've got a wife I know.
Has your wife ever tried to murder you?
Oh, now wait, that's not yet an established fact, and he hasn't quite been the husband of the year himself, has he?
No, but what she planned was a cold-blooded assassination for profit.
Stop harping on that. Can you prove it?
No, not yet.
Well then, how much of all this does Josefa Latney know?
So far, nothing.
But she has a lawyer now, hasn't she?
Yes, I assigned her one, but she won't see him. She won't have anything to do with it.
How do you plan to proceed?
Oh, well, to begin with, we might as well let the girl go. That is the first step, huh?
If you release the girl, the case explodes at once. The newspapers are whispering already. With the girl cleared, they'd roar.
Yes, I suppose it would.
Scandalous mud. Give it time to dry and it turns to dust. Then deal with it.
To protect the polar bear?
Yes, damn it! Oh, I know that isn't equal justice under the law, but the polar bears just aren't equal. Condemn me if you like. I'm afraid of them.
So am I.
And what's the harm, finally? If this case remains an affair of a chauffeur and a parlor maid, I give you my word that in 2 months' time it won't matter to anyone.
Except, of course, to the maid.
In the long run, even she'll be better off without a scandal trailing along behind her.
LeBlanche, have you ever been inside a woman's prison?
Why?
I don't know. I just wondered what you thought of the conditions in them.
No, I have not been in a woman's prison, and furthermore, I'm not a parlor maid who sleeps with the Spanish chauffeur and her boss. Wake up, Savigny. The girl is not so much of an ingenue that you must act like a juvenile.
2 months, you say?
Not even that. 6 weeks.
6 weeks? No.
Damn it, I can't. A month?
No, not even 1 day. Why should the girl pay for the ball affairs? Because they have so much more money than she has?
You'll be finished today.
Are you asking me or telling me? Yes, I'll be finished today.
Very well, then. In coming to your decision, have you given some thought to your wife? I mean, she is involved in your future, isn't she?
Well, yes, of course she's involved in my future. I am sure whatever I decide to do, I will receive full support from Antoinette.
Oh, well, you're a lucky man. Good luck, Savigny, with everything.
Long. Hello, Antoinette, darling. How are you? No. Fine. I just had a few minutes between chores. The case? It's going extremely well. Well, there does seem to be a slight difference of opinion. The truth of the matter is, Antoinette, I may be taken off the case before the afternoon's out. The chief prosecutor is a what? Antoinette, darling, where did you ever learn a word like that? Oh, that's what your mother used to call me. Well, Antoinette, what if your mother were right? I mean, what if there were no new apartment, no new car? Thank you, darling. Thank you very much.
Wash done? Mm-hmm. You seem pretty cheerful.
Well, we'd better get back to work. LaBlanche implied that if we wanted to finish this case, we'd better work fast.
Yeah, that's the room in the building, too. The girl is waiting. You want to see her?
Yes, living room. How's she behaving?
It's hard to tell. She's fast asleep on the bench.
Needs to be a lot less strain on her than it is on me. Send her in. Inspector?
No,
Esther.
Monsieur is gone.
Monsieur?
Monsieur Bowler there. Oh, me and my big mouth. I'm even worse than the cook. And to think he was playing poker all night. Tell me, does telling the truth ever really help anyone?
In my official capacity, I don't think I'd better answer that one.
He was terribly upset, wasn't he?
Reasonably. Say, what's wrong with you?
Nothing. Now, it's all over. I want to confess.
What?
I'm just not bright enough to keep up with all my lies. I want to confess.
Anything in particular?
I killed Miguel. Well, right. Take it down. You've been writing down even my sneezes for 2 days, and suddenly you're helpless.
Pay attention to me. Why are you behaving like such an idiot?
A conscience that jabs me like a red-hot spear, and you call that being idiotic?
Listen, if you're still trying to protect Monsieur Bonneval, let me tell you...
Protecting him after what he said about me in this room, huh?
All right, Morstein. Take it all down.
I killed Miguel. I shot him with a pistol kept in the Rolls Royce.
Which Rolls Royce?
The limousine.
Thank you, go on.
I shot him. I didn't mean to kill him, only wound him. Well, there you are. Don't you want to ask me any questions?
I interrupt you in the middle of your confession?
I don't mind.
All right, then, why did you kill Miguel?
Ah, his brutality. Well, he beat me. You know that from the other witnesses. Well, this night again, because he was suspicious.
You had no bruises.
Well, he held me by the hair, and he beat my head against the ground like this. I thought he was going to kill me, so I shot him. Ah, you're better now.
Where was the gun?
When I shot him? In my hand.
I mean, where did you keep the gun? In the room? In a purse? In a drawer? On the bed? Under the bed?
Under the bed. I reached for it. I hardly knew what I was doing because he was giving me such a thumping.
The shot was fired from a distance of approximately 10 feet.
I broke away from him. The gun was under the other side of the bed.
How did it get there?
Well, we struggled for it. I knocked it out of his hand and it fell to the floor and I kicked it. He's not writing anything.
All right, Sam, take it all down just as she said it. We no longer have a case against Madame Bordel.
I'm sorry I didn't confess right away. Madame? I thought it was him.
That's none of your concern. Well, go on. Go on with your confession. Where's that red-hot spear of conscience that was jabbing you a minute ago?
Comes and it goes. What's this about Madame?
Idiot.
I know.
She was the first one in the room after the gun was fired. She found you.
Madame? But he heard Miguel accuse me, his last words. Then Miguel didn't die thinking that I had killed him? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Do you mean Monsieur used that against me?
He thought it was true. It was his wife who said she heard Miguel accusing you.
Oh, Miguel! Miguel, are you here? Are you listening? Do you know that I'm innocent? Do you think he knows that I'm innocent?
I don't know. I hope so.
Innocent or not, if he could get his hands on me right now, I'd get a good clip on the ear. Oh, Miguel. Miguel, forgive me. I should have known it was you who loved me.
If you're finished with the spirit world, I'd like to get back to business.
Did she kill Miguel? He and Madame also?
No.
They weren't? Not anything?
She expected to find her husband in your bedroom.
You mean Miguel died by mistake? Like a wrong number? You must punish her. Put her in prison. She can have my room.
Well, I don't think I can.
You must. Miguel must be avenged. To a Spaniard, these things are terribly important. Send her to prison. I'm not asking for myself, but for Miguel. I'll help you.
No. Thank you. First, you deny everything, and then you confess everything. Oh, you're a wonderful help. You are.
I'm sorry, but please let me help.
Just be quiet. I'm thinking. Do you know Madame's wardrobe?
Yes,
Everything?
every stitch, even her underwear. Do you want me to search her?
Stop that. Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Morrison, kindly show Madame into the room, please. Now just sit there. Be quiet. Listen.
Well, at last.
Sorry to have kept you waiting. Madame, would you be seated, please?
Thank you. Ah, Josepha, I must say, prison seems to agree with you.
Thank you, Madame. It's possible to get used to anything.
Now, we have a few matters to clear up, Madame. Would you kindly be seated?
Very well.
Who is Monsieur Jean-Claude de Benoit?
A childhood friend.
Children grow up, they learn new games. Approximately 3 months after you returned to Paris, you had another key made to the front door of your house. Why?
I had lost mine. I wanted to replace it.
But the locksmith swears under oath that you had in fact your own key, that you brought him a key to have a copy made. Why?
I must have wanted or needed its duplicate.
Where is it now?
I don't know. I may have misplaced it. Really, isn't this a great deal of fuss over nothing at all?
Yes, of course. Childhood friends. Nothing more natural than Monsieur de Benoit should have his own key to come and go as he please.
You may think what you wish. It is of no importance.
I'm content that you be the judge of that, Madame, but we are investigating a murder here, and this bears directly upon your own motives.
Olé! I'm sorry. I must have been thinking of something else.
Thinking of something else. Does she ever think of anything else? Frankly, then, my husband and this unwashed rabbit were carrying on, under my own roof, humiliating me before my own servants. Very well. I found a means of consolation. That is the full extent of my crime. You may investigate it if you wish until doomsday.
I think we can let the matter drop. Except for one minor point. Do you have any money of your own, Madame?
Really, I am not considering opening an account here. We are a very old and, if I may say so, distinguished family, not merchants or bankers.
In other words, you were dependent upon Monsieur Beauvert. You had heard, did you not, from servants' gossip that your husband visited Josepha's room from time to time?
Yes, of course.
Did you know when?
No.
On the afternoon of the shooting, your husband sent a note to Josepha fixing a rendezvous time for 10 o'clock that night. Josepha never received the note. Do you know anything about that?
Nothing whatever.
That evening you dined with friends, correct?
Yes, Monsieur and Madame Belvoir.
Was this a long-standing engagement?
No. As a matter of fact, it was arranged for the same day.
Upon your request of theirs?
I don't remember. We are very old friends. Really, what difference could that make?
Well, if you had intercepted the note and knew your husband was to be in Josefa's room at 10 o'clock that evening, you might have wanted your husband to have the illusion that he had, so to speak, a clear field. It's merely a suggestion. When was the last time you used the Rolls Royce? Limousine?
The limousine?
The night before, madame, at the gala.
Ah, yes. My husband and I attended a diplomatic gala at the opera.
Madame wore a ball gown of gray satin with a long train. She looked lovely in it. The next morning, when I went to clean up the room, it had already been sent to the cleaners.
A long skirt. Someone had undoubtedly stepped on it in the crush during the intermission.
All afternoon before the gala, Miguel was working on a leak in the crankcase in the limousine. There was grease all over the floor of the garage, and he didn't even finish in time to clean it up.
Who does your cleaning, madame?
I have the name of the concern.
The Cost Bergeret Cleaners and Dyers, 56th Avenue, Victor Hugo. Clothes dyed black for mourning in 24 hours, madame.
Was there grease on the skirt of your ball gown, madame?
I did return to the garage that evening. After we returned home from the gala, I remembered that I had forgotten my gloves in the glove compartment.
Did you find them?
Yes.
Where?
In the glove compartment where I had put them. That's what a glove compartment is for, isn't it?
In this particular glove compartment, there also happens to be a fully loaded .38 caliber pistol.
No. It was no longer there.
Oh, I see. Did you mention the disappearance of the car?
As a matter of fact, I did. I asked Miguel about it the next morning. He told me that my husband had taken it. There was no longer any reason to keep it in the car, and he was going to return it to the bank.
Of course, it would be helpful if this could be verified, but unfortunately, Ostos is dead.
We all have to go when our time comes.
But you did find your gloves, so the trip to the garage was not a total loss.
And they were such beautiful long gloves. They buttoned all the way up to the elbow. Not the kind that are easy to take off and on.
But I did. They were tight and uncomfortable. And I wanted to smoke.
Sitting with your husband in the back seat of the limousine, and you put your gloves in the glove compartment up front?
We gave some friends a lift home in the car that evening. There were 6 of us in all. My husband and I both sat up front. Ask him, he will confirm it.
Touché.
I am telling the truth. When I entered the room, Ostos was dead. My husband was kneeling over your charming assistant, naked as a plucked chicken in a faint.
The traffic in my room that night was more like the Place de la Concorde.
Are you quite certain, madame, that you mentioned the disappearance of the weapon to Ostos?
Oh, yes, I remember it quite clearly.
Since you did not know then who had taken the weapon, why didn't you mention it to your husband?
I meant to, as a matter of fact. But when I awoke the following morning, he had already left for the bank.
What time did you awake, madame?
Let me see, I
Madame
believe
got her coffee at 12 noon.
Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Ostos was already driving on his way to Lyon at 12 noon.
I sent for Ostos before I rang for my coffee. I awoke at 11, and when I rang, it was the cook who answered. I told her I wanted to see the chauffeur first, and then to have her send Josefa up with my tray. I didn't ring that morning, did I, Josefa? It was the cook who asked you to bring up my tray, wasn't it?
Yes, madame.
You see, I am telling the truth. I took it for granted that my husband had removed the revolver from the car. He knew that Ostos was maniacally jealous. And even though he had planned to get him out of the way while he frolicked in the maid's room, I dare say he thought it wise not to keep a loaded gun where Ostos could get at it. That does sound plausible, does it not?
It would appear to.
Oh, I don't think he meant to kill Ostos, particularly since his date with Josefa was for 11 o'clock that evening, and he didn't think that Ostos could conceivably get back until way after midnight. But Ostos did manage to return shortly after 11, in time to find them together. And, you know what happened after that.
Not an unlikely reconstruction, madame. But tell me, if you would, please, how did you know that the rendezvous was fixed for 11 o'clock that night?
What do you mean?
How did you know that your husband was to be in Josefa's room at 11 o'clock that evening?
Well, I didn't. You told me. You said something about a note he sent to her.
That's true, madame. I did say that. But you see, I said 10 o'clock. I mentioned the note twice, madame, and both times I said 10 o'clock. But you knew the exact hour stipulated in the note, didn't you?
That's not true. You said 11 o'clock. You must have said 11 o'clock.
On the day of the shooting, your husband sent Josepha a note fixing a rendezvous for 10 o'clock. Here again. If you had intercepted the note and noted your husband was to be in Josepha's room at 10 o'clock.
No. No.
How did you know the exact time that was stipulated in the note? You must answer, madame. It is crucial now because you are challenged by your own words, not your husband's, not Josepha's, not any of the other witnesses, but you are challenged by your own words. How did you know the exact time stipulated in the note? How?
I got the note.
And the rest of it?
No. No, I deny it all.
You there, go.
You're arresting me?
I think you should have time to think matters over, madame. Now, this whole affair may be regarded as a crime of passion, prompted by your husband's misconduct. Undoubtedly, your lawyers will give you that advice.
And you?
I am not a judge, madame. I'm only a magistrate. Madame must be left alone.
Don't worry about my attempting suicide. I am not quite so obliging.
Boy, she's got class, huh? If I had killed someone, I'd be trembling like a leaf, especially if I got caught. Oh, you were sensational. He was sensational. He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Yes, very.
Thank you, thank you. Morristan, if you'll kindly have this signed, countersigned by the chief prosecutor. Right. Now that's your release order. When Morristan returns, you're free.
Don't trip. Free.
Well, doesn't that idea appeal to you?
Oh, sure. That damn prison. I'll really be free. The man who loves me is dead. The man I love thinks I'm some kind of marijuana bush. That's not free enough. I'm also out of a job.
You'll find something else.
Sure. The reference I could expect from Madame Bowler there. I'll be cashier in a bank. Well, don't worry. I've got plans.
Good.
Striptease. I heard about it in prison. 2 of the girls in my cell told me. They told me I could make 200 francs a night anywhere in Montmartre. These 2 even made more than that. Probably why they were in prison. But they told me where to go and who to see and everything. Oh, don't you think it's a good idea?
It's not for me to say.
Oh, come on. You know more about me than anyone except Miguel. And Monsieur Beaurepaire. You others. Very few.
Josepha, I don't think you are like the other girls that you met in prison.
No? Truly?
Truly.
After all you've heard about me,
After all I've heard about you,
a man like you, I mean, you're practically a judge.
well, practically.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm bowled over. Say, how would you like it if you and I, well, you know, I mean, I like you and all that, otherwise I wouldn't dream of it.
Josepha.
Come on, you know I'd be in the soup right now if it wasn't for you. You know so much about me already, so you know a little bit more. So,
No. Thank you very much, but no.
are you sure? I mean, I know it's not a sensational offer or anything, but I don't have much.
Oh, it is. And don't let anyone ever tell you that it isn't. I'm pleased and I'm touched for the offer, but no.
You've done so much for me already. Would you like it if I didn't do the striptease?
Very much.
All right. Who needs it in December with all those drafts?
Now you find yourself a good job, a nice fella, and settle down.
Nice fellas. You think I'm good luck? I don't know. Nice fellas. They're not very easy to find. Now, you're a nice fella. You know, in a way, it's a pity.
Yes, it is. But fortunately, or unfortunately, I'm old enough to say no, and young enough to regret it. Now you find yourself a nice fella and a good job, and that is an order.
Yes, sir.
Where's the release order?
It's on the chief prosecutor's desk.
You mean he wouldn't sign it?
Sign it, he wouldn't even look at it. I think he's ready to release us, but not her.
Oh, well, we'll see about that.
Quinley gets upstairs. The chief's office is full of deputies, ministers, high officials, all related to the Bureau of Affairs.
Is he in trouble?
Ha! That's H.A. with an exclamation point.
Because he got me out of trouble? Oh, no.
Ah, don't worry about it. The chief has these sullen periods, but they never last more than a few years.
What will they do to him?
He'll live. Not as well, of course, as if he had followed orders, but
You mean they won't make him a judge?
a judge. Ha! That's H.A. with 2 exclamation points.
Oh, it's all my fault. Me and my stupid innocence. If I had any sense at all, I'd be guilty and everybody would be better off.
Madame wishes to make a statement. When he gets back, if he gets back, tell him.
Oh, where's Morris at?
He's inside with Madame. She wants to make a statement.
I thought she'd get around to that. Here is your release order. Signed.
I don't want it.
What's the matter with you?
I refuse. You're in trouble because you got me out of trouble.
That is none of your business.
I don't want it. Send her home. I'll confess. I don't mind, honestly.
I do mind.
You know, I was just putting on an act about that prison. It was fun. I liked it.
You damn fool.
I know. But all those relatives, presidents, prime ministers, deputies, why should you have all that lot on your hands? You know, if you sent me to the guillotine, you wouldn't even get a complaint on a postcard.
Idiot.
I know I am, but I'm going to get into trouble again. See if I don't. I'd much rather give you a nice confession, and then you'll get promoted.
Who's been talking to you? Has been Morristein been telling you all this?
No, I guessed.
You don't own me a damn thing. They gave me this shabby little room and a handful of puzzle pieces, and then the machinery went to work. Properly, for once, the pieces got put together. Just one of the puzzle pieces. And I'm glad for that.
I'm glad you were running the machine. But I want you to be a judge.
Promise. Now, get someone to see you out with this.
So it's finished? Oh, all right.
Josepha.
I want to give you something. A souvenir. Oh, I know. It's nothing. But it would be a keepsake. Look, it's from the bullfights. There's the bull, and there's the matador. Miguel brought it to me last year from Bayonne. Oh, please.
Thank you very much.
It's nothing.
Ole!
Ole!
Now, you remember what I said. Nice fella, good job, a very nice fella. You'll know how to make him happy.
I hope I remember.